India-Russia summit to not happen this year due to scheduling issues. In the backdrop of the Ukraine conflict and scheduling issues, the annual India-Russia summit will not take place this year. The summit alternates between the two countries, and this year, the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi was supposed to travel to Moscow for the summit. The Russia-Ukraine conflict of course had its shadow, even as New Delhi has been calling for dialogue and diplomacy to resolve a conflict that has increased global food, fuel and commodity prices. Sources pointed out that plan to hold the annual summit could not materialize in November and December because of the elections in the states of Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh in the start of the winter session of the Indian Parliament. India-Russia Annual Summit is the highest institutionalized dialogue mechanism between the two countries at the leaders' level. So far, 21 summits have taken place since the first summit that took place and since the first summit that places in November 2001 in Moscow. The last summit to take place was in Delhi on December 6, 2021, with Russian President Putin traveling to the Indian national capital. Sources also deny Western media reports that the Russian president's nuclear threat had any role to play in India-Russia summit not happening, given the call that the summit will not take place was taken much before that. Prime Minister Modi and Russian President Putin had earlier this year held a bilateral in Samarkand on the sidelines of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization or SCO summit. During that meeting, PM emphasized that this is not an era of war. A line since then has been repeated by a number of Western leaders and was mentioned in the G20 Bali joint statement. Since the conflict started in February this year, 3 Indian top ministers/officials have visited Russia: Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. India, meanwhile, continues to strongly defend its stance on importing Russian energy. Jaishankar earlier this month said that oil import in European Union is like 6 times what India's imported, adding that Europe will make the choices it will make, that is Europe's right. But for Europe to make choices, which prioritizes its energy needs, and then ask India to do something else. In 2020 as well, the summit could not happen due to the COVID pandemic. Before that, in 2019, Prime Minister Modi traveled to Vladivostok. 2018 saw Russian President Putin traveling to Delhi for the summit, which saw both sides signing the pact for S-400.